Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andy, the Painting Fireman. Today we're going to do a nice seascape for you. I live in landlocked Alberta, so I don't get a chance to go out to the ocean a lot, so I'll paint a few seascapes once in a while just to make it look like I'm sitting on a beach or something like that. I painted one a while ago. I filmed one, I painted another one, so might as well keep on with that trend. The more you paint things that you're not familiar with, the better you are and the better you get at it. So paint your mountains. If you're not so good at mountains, keep painting mountains for a month. If you're not good at seascapes or oceans or trees, just continue on painting them. You'll eventually get better. You will, honest. So today what we've done, this is a 16 by 20 canvas. I painted it with a black acrylic paint first, let that completely dry. On top of the black acrylic that's dry, I put on liquid clear as well as alizarin crimson starting at the horizon and working our way up just a little bit of phthalo blue. So crimson to phthalo blue on the top, same with the bottom, just in reverse. From this part here, you got your crimson and then blue on the bottom there. And today we're going to focus on a big old stormy looking sky. In the middle, I just put some tape. I put it's my kids' hockey tape, but you can use any kind of tape, masking tape. And I just want, the reason why I did that, I want a really straight horizon line. In seascapes, you really want something nice and flat, a nice flat horizon line. So that's why I use the tape. We'll peel off the tape, we'll scrub in the rest of the color where the tape wasn't. You need to put the tape on before you put on your liquid clear or liquid white or whatever medium you're going to use as your undercolor. And then you can take it off and you'll have a nice, very nice and straight horizon line for your seascape. So let's go up on here and let's get started. We're just going to we're going to use a big old round brush that I have. I usually use our 1 inch brush, 2 inch brush, and we're just going to tap a little bit of paint, a little bit of white paint. That's all we're using is white. Just tap a little bit in. You can always add, or it's really easy to subtract paint off your painting. So start with a little bit and you can always add some more. So we're going to determine where our light source is. And I think right kind of just off center. And we're just going to go in and make some round strokes kind of all over the place. We're just trying to build a cloudy looking sky. So I'm kind of just moving the brush kind of willy-nilly all over the place, just trying to create some forms in there, round in circles. We can have some big clouds, we can have some small ones, wherever. There's no real, as long as we're kind of making little circles, that's gonna, really shape some of our clouds, and naturally our clouds are gonna kind of form in our sky. I kind of want to leave it a little dark on the bottom here. And we can leave our dark spots. Remember, we need the dark to see the light. So leaving those dark spots will help you in your painting. I haven't added any paint. I might add some more in the middle, make that a little brighter. And I'm just using round strokes, mostly at random. We're going to blend this sky out. We'll add a little color to it. Just going to pick up a little bit more white paint on our brush here. Just tap it in. We're going to go into the middle again, because I want the middle a little bit brighter than anything else. That's kind of where let's say our sun's still kind of hiding behind the clouds. So we're just going to go in, add a little bit of white, and we can add some more white to the rest of our clouds a little bit after we're done blending it out. And all we're doing is creating really kind of cloudy looking sky. Just using our big brush, round stroke. You can use your 2 inch brush, you can use your round brush, you can use your fan brush, whichever you want to use. There's no real best way to do it, I suppose. I just want that light source in the middle just to be brighter than everything else. So we're just going to go around. Nice circular strokes, making those clouds. And those clouds will just pop out of nowhere. You can actually see they're just really forming, and all I've done is made little circles with this round brush. Nothing too fancy. And we'll highlight some of these on the bottom where the sun is. You want the highlight kind of do on this side. We'll just blend. Actually, you know what? We're gonna take our 1-inch brush and I'm just gonna add some white and just a little bit of cad yellow. Not too much. I want to kind of make it look like a sun in the back there. The sun's kind of trying to peek out over that stormy sky. Maybe it's a sunset or a sunrise. Just a little bit right in the middle here. Just add that little bit, just that little bit of yellow, kind of just poking through little places. Maybe up, there's a big, just kind of adding it to some of these clouds there and there. Like I said, we're going to blend this out quite a bit. Just adding it to some of these clouds that we made. I know it looks like a hot mess, but once we blend it out, it's going to look pretty cool, I think. So just adding that yellow. Maybe a little bit down here, comes over. Maybe it. And that's about it. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to blend it out and then we'll add our highlights to our clouds that we kind of made. You just want to take your big brush and you can soften this as much as you want. If you find somewhere that you need to put that white paint again, feel free to add it. You can go in circular motions, but don't kill that dark. That's the part that's gonna really bring out the clouds. It's really gonna look like a cloudy sky. And all I'm doing is blending nice little circles, kind of fluffing those clouds up. I think it's a little bit too dark right in the middle because our light source is here. I just want to brighten that up. All I'm going to do, take a little bit of our white paint just here, because maybe that sun kind of shines a little bit more in the middle than it does anywhere else. And all I did was just add a little bit of white paint. I just want to brighten just the middle part up. And I'm just, once again, just using circular strokes with my big old brush. I don't use this brush very often, so it actually feels good to use that one. And we'll blend it out. And then we'll pick and choose a few clouds that we see maybe that are standing out a little more than the other clouds. I don't want it too dark on the bottom. Still want it dark, but not overly red there. You can mix it with. Oh, it looks like a big old stormy sky, and blend it out. All right, let's take our 1-inch brush. Just add a little bit of paint. We're going to pick out some of these clouds here. Just add a little bit of color. We'll blend it out, like I said again. I think maybe in the middle there. And I'm just making circular strokes. Just trying to bring some cloud formations in there. Just a little bit brighter in some spots. I know it looks splotchy right now, but we're going to blend all that out. Maybe here hits a little bit. Just in random spots. You can see some of the edges. You can do that with a fan brush. I actually prefer a fan brush, so maybe I might go back. Maybe I might go back with that fan brush. There's a nice cloud that just kind of showed up there. Just blend out the bottom. Same with this guy here. You can even fluff them up a little bit if you want. Yes, you can. And if you don't like what you see, you can always blend it out into nothing. Always blend it out into nothing. Add a little paint that was on there. Just blend it out into nothing. I like the way that's looking. Maybe down here we'll add some. I think I'm going to take my fan brush. I just have a little more control with the fan brush. So we can take our fan brush, maybe highlight a little piece here. Maybe down here there's a little bit that's standing out. Maybe here. More on this side, that cloud down here. Maybe there's a cloud that runs right in front of our little yellow spot there. And once again, all I'm doing is circular strokes with my fan brush this time. Just adding a little bit of clouds. And like I said, we're going to blend some of those out some more. Maybe more here. Just circular patterns with our brush. Maybe up here there's a little bit. I don't want it too bright on the corners at all. We want to keep those dark. The darker your corners, you can even add paint. It'll bring the focus of the viewer into the middle of your painting, and that's where I want people to look. I don't want people to look out in the corner. It just naturally kind of draws your eye to the middle of the painting. So just take the corner of your brush. You can fluff some of those up there. Fluff this guy up. And you see some nice, really nice clouds forming. And it's not a lot of effort. You know, you just got to keep practicing. All right, I just finished blending out that sky. I didn't add too much color. I just kind of softened some spots up. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off our our hockey tape, and we're going to reveal our nice straight line. And that's what we want. And like I said before, you have to put that tape, whether it's masking tape or hockey tape. You just have to put it on before you start putting your liquid clear on there. Obviously it's not going to stick. But what happens is you're left with this, it's completely dry. And the way we create these effects is having a wet canvas. So we're just going to take our crimson and we're just going to take some of our color and we're going to blend it up to that line. We're going to get as close as we can. And then we can take either a filbert brush or something. Just take some color. Doesn't have to be exact. And we're just going to keep moving up towards that line, and then we'll start on our ocean. All right, I just finished filling in that little spot right up there, right up where our tape was. I apologize if you hear some banging. That's the little guy upstairs. He's having a good time up there. We're going to take some white paint, not too much, on our fan brush. Just straight white paint. And we're going to start right in the middle, right where our light source is. And all we're going to do is try and make little rocking motions. So we're going to start right here and make little rocking motions. Start in the brightest spot of your sky. And we're just making little rocking motions back and forth. We're trying to make make it look like it's rough water in the sea there, or in the ocean. And you can always leave those white spots. That's always good too. It looks like little waves sometimes. You can see it just kind of falls off my brush. I've said before in some of my paintings, the canvas will take what it wants. And if it wants some white paint there, that's exactly what it's going to get. So it just takes it. Sometimes you work with what happens there. We're just rocking back and forth, and we kind of want it darker on these ends here. Darker. And if you do happen to make it too bright, you can always go back, take some of your color that you already put on there, and just fill it in. No problem. Or you can just work with what you got. I mean, if it's brighter over there, then it's brighter over there. It's your painting. There's no instructions that came with the paintbrush or the paint tube. No instructions at all. So once you picked up your first brush, that indicated that you got your license. So you can do whatever you want. You could paint seascapes, you could paint mountains. It really doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. And you could do this in multiple colors. I did one in a phthalo green. It turned out really cool. Basically the same kind of thing. You can do it in multiple colors. You can make it more purple. You can make it blue, more blue. Whatever you want. So all I'm doing is rocking back and forth, trying to create kind of what it looks like waves. I think we're going to have, maybe I'll do that. I'll show you where our wave is going to be. And you can just take a filbert brush, just a filbert, put some paint on it. And you can decide kind of where your main wave's going to be. I think I want it to break here because I'm going to put a little clear spot in the wave this time. So I kind of want it almost where that light spot is. So I want it to crash over this way. I think we'll go this way. It's going to change colors because I put purple and blue on here. I think it's going to go up like this, and then it might crash over starting right there. So right here is going to be where the eye of that wave is, right there. Going to crash over, maybe I'll make it a little sharper, and then it's going to go off and maybe hit a big rock that's in this area. Just going to add a little more paint to this one wave, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of it. I'm going to take some of it and draw it backwards. All right, so we're just going to take some of this paint here, and there's nothing on my brush, and I'm just drawing a little bit of it back. Because in between those waves, there's kind of like swells of water. We're going to have it all poofy up here, kind of like it's splashing up against that big rock that we're going to put in. And I'm just drawing it back. And you want to leave this little black ridge. So I think this is another wave coming in, but it's not very detailed quite yet. We're going to put all the detail in the front of our wave here. And I'm just drawing some parts of it backwards. And maybe you can even put some of it crashing over. Maybe that's a little crash over. And I'm just drawing it back. But I want to keep that one. And we can highlight some of it there. And same with our top wave. I'm just going to put a little touch of paint on here. And we can draw some of this guy back too. We're going to add some major highlights on this one coming forward. Just the same kind of strokes going back, just picking up a little paint from the top edge of that wave. And you can curl it up. So this wave here, you can see that it's coming closer. Maybe it's got a big hump there. You can start figuring out that wave's just about curling over. And I kind of like the change of color that's happening. So all I'm doing is white and our cad yellow. Take some of that white and cad yellow. All we're doing. And you can use a fan brush. I'm just using a filbert brush. Just getting some paint on. And I really want to make sure that I'm scrubbing it in. And it's going to pick up that paint underneath. But all I'm doing is really scrubbing this color in. It's going to be our eye of our wave. And I just want to bring it down this way. We're going to blend that out. So just going in small circles. And what we can do is we can take our 1-inch brush, clean off some of the, and we can just blend it out. And all the way down. Just little circles. We're going to put some shadow on there. Just blending it out nicely. And if you want the eye your wave a little brighter or bigger, you can always go back, put some in there. So I'm just going to go back into our cad yellow, brighten that up just a little bit. Maybe it's a little bigger. And just blend it out. So we're not really worried about what's going on here just yet. We might take some of this and put some more highlights on the top. Just blend it out into nothing. All right, I got some more white paint. Just put some white paint on your fan brush. And I think right here, like those little sounds like that, waves coming over. You can make some brighter, some longer. Add some of those highlights in there. So that wave's coming over right there. Along this line. Take some of your white paint. We're going to put a highlight under here, but I just want it a little brighter. Certain spots. And you can go back if you don't like what you see. All right, we're going to take our filbert brush again. We're going to get a dark color, so we're just going to use our crimson and blue. Maybe throw a little bit of maybe darker blue. I think we'll put some black in there. Just you really want a dark color, dark purpley color, maybe bluish. What we're going to do is we're going to put a nice little shadow right under the ridge of our wave. We're going to blend that out. Just a dark color. We're going to take our fan brush. Actually, we'll take our 1-inch brush. Kind of just hit the bottom of this a little bit. Just blend it out a little bit. And we're going to take our fan brush, pardon me, and we're going to make some kind of splashing foam features here. Remember, it's going to hit our big rock that we're going to put in there. Just around. And you can use the corner of your fan brush and you just press down and it'll make all those really cool splashing kind of areas. And off into nothing. Just take your brush. See, our eye kind of disappeared, but we're going to make it reappear just by blending it out. And you can take the bottom, and just gently go in little circles. Don't go up here too much. Go in little circles. And that big wave is crashing over there. And you can sit there and blend out. I think maybe it might be crashing a little bit over on that side. So you can take your brush, maybe pull some down a little bit. It's just starting to come over. Just starting to come over, and you can pull some down. Now we're starting to think about the shape of this wave here. So it's curling up this way. And maybe there's some splashing going on here. And just take the corner of your brush and you can always add more if you want. We're going to put a big old rock here somewhere that it's hitting. And we'll add a little bit here. I just want to blend this out. So I just added some paint in there. That wave is just coming over. So I got a really dark brown going. And maybe this rock goes out here, comes across, and just kind of filters off into nothing. We're just going to fill it in. Just a bumpy old rock. You can use your knife if you want. We kind of need something for that. Something for that wave to crash into. And it could have a little bump sticking out here and off. Just going to take a little bit of white, that same color, a little bit of white. Just add the faintest of highlights to our rock. We want to keep this really subdued. We don't want it to be super highlighted at all. Just the faintest of color. And all I did was add a little white. And you can play around with it a little bit if you want. Just the faintest of highlight. Maybe just a little bit more at the top. Maybe there's like a ridge here or something. And all that's going to appear is these brush strokes. You're not really going to see a lot. Maybe it comes down. And all I'm using is a little bit of white with that brown color in there. If you need to darken it up, darken it up. And add more black to it. But super subdued. Don't want it showing too much. All right, we're just gonna put in our little shoreline here. I made some light blue, took some on my knife, and I kind of cut a piece of it off here. I don't have a small knife. Maybe I should probably get one, but you kind of want a small knife for this. I just want the back side of it to be blank. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna take our knife and we're gonna figure out where this water goes. You want to press pretty hard. And all we're doing is kind of moving this around here. Right around there. And I'm just pressing down. And you can take your fan brush and we can bring some of this back into our wave. Just a little bit of spots here. Just take some of it back. Leave some dark. This is still kind of deep water. One of my friends said, you know, that foamy part, it's really actually really deep still. So you kind of want to leave a little edge and think about the shape of your wave. It's coming up into your wave now. There's those foamy bits that kind of get stuck in the wave here as it curls around. Spills out. And you just want to take this back here. We're kind of got flat ground now until it gets to that wave. So we're just peeling some of it back And then we're starting our rocking motion up. I took a smaller fan brush. I just want a little bit more control. And we can add a whole bunch of details into our wave here. And I think, you know what, we're going to take our big brush, just add a little bit of white. You see our light source. We're just going to pull down. We're going to kind of get close to our water, but we want to really leave a ridge. And we're just pulling straight down. Just straight down. Just that'll indicate that we got kind of flat right there. And we're just going to take our big brush and go crossways. Just across. Soften this up. All right, I had a look at my painting, kind of trying to figure out what I can do a little bit more in the front here. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little rock here. I just kind of, just a oddly shaped rock maybe. He's just sitting here. We're going to highlight him just a little bit with some blue and white right here. Just give him a little bit of a highlight. And then we can take some of our water, just float them by here. Maybe take this in. And then we can drag it back. Maybe take some more white, the crimson color, that white. Just that's where it hits the shoreline. Big old rock there, maybe it goes around him. That's where the sand starts, I think. You can add a little bit of that brown in there. Add a few little foamy bits in here. Just nice and white. Just pure white. This is really flat now. It's not very deep. Just kind of goes around that rock. Here, add some splashing, and that's about it. I think we have a finished painting. Let's take your liner brush, dip it in some paint thinner. I think we'll take that light blue. I kind of like that color. Light blue, and you can sign your painting anywhere you want. I sign mine in the bottom corner usually, but you really want nice thin paint, almost like ink. Roll it around till you get a nice little tip on your liner brush. We'll go right down to the bottom corner. And put our signature here. Here we go. There you go. That's a finished painting. Thanks for joining me for this interesting seascape. It's on a black canvas. Black canvases are really awesome if you're first starting out. They create excellent skies. You can do seascapes. You can use this sky in a landscape as well. So don't be afraid to try it. Thanks very much for joining me. My name's Andy, the Painting Fireman. Make sure you keep your shiny side up. Have a good day, everyone.